curse carried beyond the grave. The creature smiles and turns the page. Another victim takes the stage. It's Creepshow, tales of terror. Monsters rising in the mirror. The creep is laughing in the night, watching wrongs get put to right. Creepshow, 13 screens, live in nightmares, haunted dreams. Open the book if you dare to see what waits beyond humanity. June 23rd, the hour arrives when terror wakes and horror thrives. A macabre carnival of fright, 13 shadows in the dead of night. Beware the bargain, make things worse. The universe keeps score somehow, and retribution's coming now. It's Creepshow, tales of terror, justice, monsters, cosmic horror. Creep is waiting by the door, always hungry for one tale more. Creepshow, raise the dead, fill your mind with fear and dread. 13 stories, one week show. Welcome to the world of Creepshow. Crypt door closes for the next story.
Aloha, it's Jason from Hawaii. Welcome to a special edition of the Comics for Fun and Profit podcast. In this episode, I will be interviewing a friend of the podcast, writer, editor, James Aquilone. Now, James has won numerous awards such as the Bram Stoker Award, the Rondo Houghton Classic Horror Award, and the Scribe Award for International Association of Media Tie-in Writers. Now, James is here to promote Creepshow 13 Tales of Terror from Monstrous. Now, this is a prose anthology novel that will be coming out in bookstores on June 23rd. James, welcome back to the Comics for Fun and Profit podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Jason. It's always great to be back. I think I've been on the show probably like 1 million times now.
Yes. And yes, I'm going to say thank you for giving me another opportunity to interview you. And you're right. I think we're being close to 1 million times because in the last 4 years. I'm joking on this part because I think when you hit 2 million times on the podcast, you and your family will get an all expense paid trip to Hawaii.
Oh, awesome. That'd be great.
All right. Listeners, and James, feel free to jump in. Now, listeners, James has worked on several anthologies and comics as a writer and editor. He has ran successful Kickstarter campaigns in the last 4 years. Now, as I mentioned, he's done several anthologies and comics. I'm just going to talk about some of his recent ones, like the Kolchak era, the prose novel anthology novel that has 13 short stories that spans Karl Kolchak's life from World War II to semi-retirement in the 90s. For comics, James has recently fulfilled the pledges of one of his latest Kickstarters. Kolchak Meets the Classic Monsters. I got my hardcover, James. I know listeners can't see it, but I finally got mine. And also to him and Zach Atkinson, they are working on a series called the Omega 11. Now, issue 2 just they just fulfilled the second issue of that Kickstarter campaign. So yeah, I still got to check that out. I got it. I got to find time to read.
Oh, you did? Okay, good.
Yes, and then also to and now, James, correct me if I'm wrong. The second issue of Monstrous magazine. Now, the theme for that one was time travel, and it also has has an exclusive interview with Malcolm McDowell. He played H.G. Wells in the 1970 or 1979 Time After Time movie. Now, this is nominated for a Rondo Award. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty cool. Okay. Also, too, James was also a consultant on the Kolchak action figure Kickstarter. That was another successful Kickstarter that Wandering Planet did. Now, James, I'm going to ask you: did you back that Kickstarter?
I didn't. No.
That's all right.
I'm getting the figures for free though. So.
Okay, all right. No, but that's good. No, but Oh, I saw they showed the pro. I mean, listeners. I mean, after the interview, Gavin showed me the prototype. Actually, I was like,
Yeah,
oh
that's really cool.
God. Um, James, I'm going off the script here. Don't be surprised if Chris Stockwag contacts you and goes, "Hey, I got a great Kolchak story. It involves the Teenage Ninja Mutant Ninja Turtles as classic monsters. Can we make
Okay.
that comic book happen?"
I would love to do that, but we have to get the rights then.
Ah, but all right. So, James, I'm going to ask, do you want to add anything to what I, said? Did I miss anything?
I don't think you missed anything. I think that was everything. Yeah, it was Kolchak. We got Creepshow coming up, and we have the Omega 11. Just
Hmm.
I'm still doing a little bit of fulfillment for that, and then we have the other two Kickstarters from last year. We have Darkest Depths. I'll probably be
Yes.
doing the fulfillment for that in a couple of weeks. I think we just have to finish like the last couple of pages, and then we have Monstrous magazine issue 3, the Kaiju issue.
Yes.
Uh, we are actually running on time with that one
Oh,
fulfillment, and I think that will be out by July
okay, good.
for
Now,
backers. That anyway.
okay. So, also to listeners, when James started the Monstrous magazines, it's a combination of short stories in comic book form and also short stories in prose, like a prose format too. So it's going to be really cool. I remember I backed the first one. Um, yeah, so I can't wait for the kaiju issue because that
That's gonna be really cool, and it's really packed. So we have all the comics, everything's in. So we just have to put it all together, and it should be really cool. Especially seeing now that we're not doing digest size anymore. We're doing a full size
yeah.
magazine, and the past issues too. We're gonna make them full size magazines as well.
All right. So James, I'm going to ask you. This is the perfect time. Where can list promote the website where people can check out all the books, even some of the books that I didn't even mention. You know.
Yeah, we really ramped up production. So I think we're a full fledged publisher now. We're
Mm-hmm.
publishing pretty much every month. Something's coming out. So the website, you can go to monstrasverse.com. Monstrasbooks.com also will work as well. Some people have a hard time spelling monstrous verse, but it's monstrous. A lot of people misspell that. So it's Monstrous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not monstrous. A lot of people throw an E in there.
Then now, I'm sorry, I'm going off the script here. Correct me if I'm because we've talked about this in the past interviews, and we talked about it before the interviews. Like, I know you guys are expanding that, comics, books, but also, are there like trading cards, and do you have the challenge coins on on the website too, or not yet?
I think we're selling the challenge coins, the Kolchak challenge coins. We had challenge coins for Conga versus Gorgo, but that's not available yet because we're gonna get them out to backers
Oh yeah.
first, and then it'll be available. Yeah, and then we have Kolchak trading cards, and then we have Omega 11 trading cards as well.
Ah, it's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
All right. So now, I just want to do a couple things. I want to do a shout out to Dustin Holland of Superfan Promotion. Dustin, thank you very much for all your hard work behind the scenes and setting up this interview. Again, Dustin, thank you very much. James, I'm going to ask, do you want to add anything to Dustin? And you want to give a shout out to Dustin and Superfan Promotion or?
Yeah. Thanks to Superfan and Dustin and David Hyde. They always do a great job helping us promote all our stuff and helping with the Kickstarters and getting all these podcasts going. So yeah, they're great.
Now, listeners, I got some of my information from an article on Fangoria.com. Exclusive Creepshow haunts a new medium with 13 Tales of Terror short story collections. Now, this was written by Maggie. I'm going to try to pronounce her last name. But shoot. In my mind, I could say it. Bucaletto. Shoot. Well, anyway, just go out to the Fangoria website. Look for the article. It was written on November 21st, 2025. All right. Now, listeners, before James and I start talking about the Creepshow Prose Anthology, Now, I want to make this clear. This is not a Kickstarter campaign. Now, this book will be available in bookstores on June 23rd, and also on the Monstrous website. And James, I'll ask Drew to include your website when we promote the interview, so people can and
Thanks.
they can start pre-ordering if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and you can get signed copies from the Monstrous First website.
Oh, that's going to be tempting. All right, but all right. So James, let's just jump right in now. James, before we begin, start talking about the novel. May I ask, can you give a brief history of the Creepshow franchise?
Well, it began as a movie series from Stephen King and George Romero. I think it was 1981.
Probably, I know it's
80s,
the
but
early 80s, yeah.
early 80s. It was kind of based on the EC comics. So I think the conceit was that like Creepshow was like a comic book series like Tales from the Crypt, and then
Okay.
the stories were coming from this comic book, and all the stories were adapted from Stephen King short stories at that time. And then they did come out with a comic book at that time, but it was
Yes.
drawn by Bernie Wrightson,
Yes.
which is very cool. So they I don't know which was the original, because then I guess maybe it was, there was a Stephen King short story which they adapted into the segments in the movie, and then they adapted those into a comic book that was drawn by Bernie Wrightson. I have the comic book; it's really cool. So then they came out with there was a sequel, then there was a Creepshow 2. A couple of years after that, and as we were talking, there was a Creepshow 3, which no one really remembers, and which had no involvement from Stephen King or George Romero. And then a few years back, they did a TV show on Shudder, a Creepshow TV show, which lasted like 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I think it's off the air now. Technically, our license is from the TV show, so that's based on the TV show Creep. But our stories are all new anyway, so it's more. These are stories that you could see in a future Creepshow movie or Creepshow TV series, because I thought it made sense, since all the Creepshow segments or the TV show or the movies were always based on short stories, but they had never put out a book of short stories that were from Creepshow. They do have the Creepshow comic, which is what Skybound and Image, I think, put it out. So they have the license to do a comic book, and they do original stories in there, but they had never done a prose anthology, which is really the source of all the Creepshow stuff came from. Even the TV series, a lot of the episodes are based on short stories from other writers. So I think there are a couple of Stephen King. I think that the first episode, Gray Matter, that's a Stephen King short story, but that was a really good one.
Yes, I got it because I read this short story like a couple months ago it's from his anthology series Night Shift. I think that he wrote in the late 70s.
Yeah, that's one of his first short story collections. So yeah, that's with the beer, and then the father's drinking all this like contaminated beer and turns into a monster. So I think that was the first episode, and then I think it was that story, and I think the other one was Josh Malaman, the Dollhouse segment. So that was based on his. I think it was a short story, or maybe it might have been an original from Josh Malaman. But that's a good story too. No, it was, what was it, The House of the Head? Or something with the dollhouse, and the little girl has the dollhouse, and it's a very creepy dollhouse. Where like every time she looks at the dollhouse, it's like these like murder scenes being reenacted in the dollhouse. Like that's one of the best I think stories from Creepshow that I've seen.
Okay.
So they have really cool. This TV series had a lot of cool stuff coming out. So Oz is more connected with the TV show, but all our stuff's original anyway, so it really kind of doesn't matter either way. So their stories in like the Creepshow vein, and then we have the Creep,
Yes,
introducing each story in the book, So there's a full page piece of art. I have the book actually, so no one can see that, but you can see it.
Yes.
But so there's 13 illustrations inside. So we got the creep, like he introduces each story. I think it's a little blurry for you, but
no, that's all right.
So I thought that would be cool. So we got the creep in there, and he gives you a little intro to the story. So there's some really cool art by Evie Cantata.
Oh, that's nice.
So we got that, and then we got the cover is by Russ Braun.
Yes,
is really awesome. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we got 13 stories, which I thought, I think I've done that a few times now. I like that. I like that. I think if it's a horror collection, you got to go with 13 over like 12.
Oh yeah,
14, right?
Yeah. So, one thing I wanted to ask you, like, for listeners who are new to the Creepshow, like these, because we know that these are horror type stories, but the thing is, what's so unique about these stories? Because I'm going to go back to the original movie because because and in the press release, but I want you to explain to our listeners, like, what's the uniqueness of the horror stories?
I don't know. I mean, well, they actually are. They're based on Tales from the Crypt, really. So I don't know how unique they actually are, because it's kind of a homage, to the old comics. But it was before. It was before the Tales from the Crypt TV series. On HBO. Before, so Creepshow was the first real. Well, there was a Tales from the Crypt movie in the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they weren't the first to do it, but it is very much more. I wouldn't say it's not unoriginal, but it's more of an homage to those 50s horror comics. So it was revenge tales, a lot of like poetic justice type of stuff like that. But what's unique about our book is that I think for the first time we have a story that features the creep himself in the story. So he's a character in the story, and that's the one that Steve Niles wrote, which is like it's a horror Christmas story. So it's a really cool, like an axe murderer and stuff. But the creep is a character in the story. So that's something I really wanted to do. So I did want to bring something unique to the book, and I said, well, the creep is just like from Tales from the Crypt Keeper too. He's he's such a character, but always like introducing the story, so he's never in the story. So like, why aren't they in the story? So we said, well, let's get the creep into a story. So we did that, and so I think that was a lot of fun and really cool. And Steve always does awesome stories. So it was very cool to have him involved in any of the projects that I'm doing.
Now, listeners, again, for those of you who may not know writer Steve Niles, his famous work is, correct me if I'm wrong, 30 Days of Nights, the vampire story in Alaska, which is
which is like one of the greatest ideas in horror ever. It's just like, oh, that's so amazing.
It is. Sorry, I'm gonna go off script here because my wife's uncle back in the late 50s was stationed in Alaska, and he would tell you, when it gets dark, it's dark, and it's dark.
So like, what a perfect setting for a vampire story, a town that's dark for an entire month.
Oh yeah.
And it's like one of those things. Probably when he came up with the idea, it was like, why hasn't anyone else ever done this?
That's true. Yeah. All right. I'm going to ask you a behind the scenes question. So how did Monstrous, how did you guys get involved with publishing the anthology? Like, like you said, it's based more off the TV series, and so yeah.
I had seen a thing where it was like I guess it was kind of like a pitch deck from this company, Striker Entertainment, listing all of the licenses they had and that were available. So, it's nice when it's like when you do have a licensor and one who actually holds the license, because sometimes that's like 90% of trying to get a license is trying to figure out who actually has it and who to contact. And also when they're actively looking to make deals and to use the license, that helps too, because sometimes people have these licenses and then they don't want to use it, you know. So I had seen this and I saw that this company Striker Entertainment, which I guess is more like an agent. They go, you know, because Evoke, I think, is the company that actually holds the license that's involved with the Shudder TV show. Greg Nicotera, who's the producer, the executive producer of the Shudder TV series. So I just reached out to him. I mean, that's how it. I would say 99% of the time, that's how you just get the licenses. You just, you know, like I said, one, it's finding out who holds the license and getting their contact, and then just pitching them. You know, send them an email and say, hey, you know, I have an idea, and then. Weirdly enough, I've been kind of successful doing that. So just reaching out to people through email and then take it from there. And then it's a lot of back and forth, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months, trying to work out a deal. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does. There was a lot of licenses I've gotten close to that didn't happen. Or there are even licenses where I actually had the contract and it didn't happen. Or even the contract was signed and the script came in, and then it didn't work out. So at any stage, these deals can fall apart. So it's great when you actually get to the point where the book is published and it's actually a reality, because anything can happen with these deals. And it had I've been up to every stage of it and had it not happen and had it happen to as well. So. So yeah, it's a lot of work just hunting down the licenses and then trying to make deals. So anytime we can get a nice license, something like Creepshow, which is one of the major, you know, IPs in horror, that's really awesome. And so I you know, at that point I was like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did, and it's really cool to have a Creepshow book under our belt.
Yes, it is. And this is the perfect segue, because we talked about there's 13 tales of terror in this book. We already mentioned, we know you're going to be writing them. We've already mentioned Steve Niles. We've already, who are the rest of the other writers?
Well, we got David Avallone, who's always in one of my projects, right? We got Nancy A. Collins as well, who's been in a ton of my projects as well. We got Dennis Crosby, who's new to Monstrous. We got Keith DeCandido.
Yes.
Who we've done a few other things with Keith too, but I think we'll be doing a lot more stuff with him as well. Gwendolyn Kriste, who's also a fantastic writer, was in Shakespeare Unleashed. We got Jonathan Maberry.
Yes.
Of course, who's also in almost all of our projects. We got Lisa Morton. We got Nick Roberts. We got Thomas Sniegoski. I think that's how you.
No, I think you're right. That. Yeah.
You probably talked to him. He's
actually, I haven't.
You haven't?
No.
Well, he does tons of comics, and he's done Hellboy comics. He's done the Herculoids recently.
Okay.
So he did Vampirella as well. He's done a ton of stuff. And we got some other projects with him too. We got Tim Waggoner, Simon Bestwick. Simon, he had a story in Shakespeare Unleashed too, and I think Classic Monsters Unleashed, and then me. So that's 13.
All right, so I'm going to ask you the dumb question, and I know I pretty much kind of know the answer maybe, but just for listeners, how did you get these writers involved with this project?
Because that's the same way.
Yeah,
yeah, I got, that was one of the things when I was even first starting out doing this, editing and publishing. I didn't think I would be able to get anybody because I didn't know anyone. I didn't really go to conventions, so I didn't have any relationships with anyone. So it had to be just email and just hope that they like the idea and they say yes. and I've discovered that most people will say yes, as long as you're paying them something, right? But if you have a good license too, the writers just love to work in these worlds,
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like Creepshow is like a kind of a no brainer. If you
Mm-hmm.
reach out to a horror writer and say, "Do you want to write a story in the Creepshow universe?" They're gonna say yes. Kolchak
Yes.
is very easy license to have and to
Yeah.
get writers involved. Um, those are licenses too, where it's more say you have to say no to a lot of people too, because then I have a lot of people always reaching out to me wanting to write Kolchak. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's and for any body who's thinking about being an editor or a publisher, yeah, just reach out to people and
Mm-hmm.
then send them a good email, and
Yes.
you will probably get more yeses than nos.
Mm-hmm. Because, and also too, like you've already worked with Nancy has contributed some stories, the Kosh works going back to Kolchak, the 50th anniversary graphic novel. She's correct me, I think she's wrote one or two of the short stories for you. David
Hmm.
has been there with you from literally from the beginning. Um, um, I want to say also Steve. I'm sure there's other, like you mentioned, there's also
Yeah, Steve
others.
Niles. Steve was in the 50th
Mhm.
anniversary Kolchak. He did issue 2 of Kolchak meets the classic monsters. Kolchak meets Frankenstein.
Mhm.
Um, he was in Dead Detective Society as
Yeah,
well.
that's
He
right.
had a Cal McDonald
Mhm.
story in that. Yeah, so this is like the fifth or sixth project with Steve.
Ah, that's so cool. All right. Um, I'm just going to pick three writers' names. Don't spoil it. I'm just going to make that clear. But can you at least give us a little taste of the stories? I'm just going to pick three names. I'm going to start off with you. What's your story about? Don't tell us the ending or anything.
My story is Tiny House of Terror. I think that's the name. That's a story I wanted to write for a long time because one of the things that I'll always talk about, especially to my wife when we watch a horror movie, especially a haunted house story. Every haunted house story takes place in a huge house,
Yes.
right? Even
Yeah.
and often they're poor people, right? It's
Yeah.
like they buy the house, they're down in their luck, they can't sell it, whatever. But the house is always huge,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yes.
it makes sense. Because if you're in a haunted house, you want to be running around,
Yeah.
right? And you have all the different rooms, and you get the basement and the
Yeah.
attic and stuff.
Yes.
But almost every, I would say, almost every haunted house story takes place in a you it, a farmhouse is probably the most typical setting for a haunted house. But most haunted house stories, if not all, take place in a really large house. So I said, well, it'd be funny, or at least interesting, and it's not a funny story, but it'd be cool to do a haunted house story, or try to do a haunted house story in a tiny house.
No. Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
now that there's this whole craze about tiny houses and stuff.
Yes.
That's an idea I've had for years, and I've been wanting to write it, and I didn't have any excuse to write it. And then
Yeah.
I said, all right, this would be the perfect place to do my tiny house
Yes.
haunted house story. So that's the story. It's a haunted house story that takes place in a tiny house. So there's no attic and
There's
there's
no second
no
story.
but I'm happy because I made it work, and I was really happy with the way the story came out. So I think it's a pretty unique haunted house story. It's maybe the first haunted house story that takes place in a tiny house.
No, but I'm gonna say because every once in a while I'll watch that TV show on Travel Channel, Paranormal Caught on Camera. And then
Yeah,
usually it's some and most of the time it's like in someone's apartment. It's like
yeah.
you can't run to it's like
Well, well, I've always lived in small apartments too my whole life, so it was, and then, yeah, it is scarier if you're in like a big house and there's a lot of empty rooms and it's
yeah, but
maybe just like you and somebody else. But yeah, I mean, so it's harder, I think, to do a horror story in a especially a haunted house in a small space. But
I
yeah,
I want to read that story now. All right. The second person I'm gonna Gwendolyn's story. What's her story about?
her story is about this very dysfunctional family.
Hmm.
Uh, it kind of gives me like adult version of like the Lemony Snicket books, and a much darker version of that though, because it's like these kids in this town, and like all the family members, like the brothers and sisters, are just really horrible people, and it's kind of notorious in this town, and then there's the one kid in the family that's good, and bad stuff happens to her, and stuff like that. So yeah, so not to give it away, but that's it. But yeah, it's this dysfunctional family, and
Oh, okay. All right. And then last person I'm going to ask about is, what is Tim's story about?
Tim's story is about an actor who has this mask that allows him to like take on these different personas
Oh,
and stuff.
nice.
So it allowed him to be this great actor.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then as you can imagine, the mask, it's gonna, if you wear it too long, right, it's gonna.
Oh,
So so there's someone else involved, and then they mess around with the mask and pay the consequences.
oh, good. All right. So I know you already mentioned about like how basically this Creepshow anthology is more tied to the Shutter Creepshow series. I'm just asking, did you hear from Greg Nicotero? Did he send you a note or anything? Hey, good luck or anything? No.
No, no.
Okay.
We actually tried. I think we tried to get like a quote from for the press release, and we couldn't. So
Oh,
no, I hadn't heard. I've heard like this in between, like the middlemen and stuff. So that's fine because
yeah.
it's just cool um just to get the license. But we were in contact with Skybound and
Hmm.
Image, and we're doing a cross promotion thing, and we have an ad for the new Creep Show is in the back of the book, and they're supposed to be doing a one of our ads. I think it's supposed to be in one of their comics. I think we have an ad for they're coming out with Super Creep Show.
Oh,
Did you see
okay.
that? Where it's like the cover the cover is
Oh, yeah. So listeners, James is holding up the back of the last page of the book. The image,
yeah,
or Skybound promoting
it's
of
kind of
the cover. Yeah, super
it's
creepy.
like the same cover as
Amazing fantasy.
with Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man when he's like flying through the air and holding the dude, and that's Super Creep Show is doing the same thing. So
Ah,
that looks cool. So I guess if you pick up a comic, hopefully our ad is in there. I guess I gotta check out the comic and see if we're in there. But yeah, but
okay.
their ad is in ours. So that was cool that they were
That's
even aware that we were doing that and that they were helping us promote it.
that's really nice. Um, I'm slowly gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna ask dumb question for listeners. You know, um, Now, because I think the format of the book is, because you already showed me the paperback, is it also going to be available on hardcover and in Kindle format?
Yes, it's in paperback, hardcover, and ebook.
Ah, okay, that's so cool. Um, I know it's going to be hard to answer this question. Um, when this book becomes successful, it's going to be like the number one bestseller in July.
I hope so.
um, are there plans to do another anthology, Creepshow anthology?
I think the possibility is there. I think they said that they would be open to that idea of doing it
Mhm.
maybe once a year or something like that. So
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
so
we
maybe we
still gotta
can
wait.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah, but that'd be nice if they can do that. Yeah. So yeah.
yeah, because this is definitely something that could be done like once a year. Put out a creep show anthology, and I don't think they're doing the show anymore.
Hmm.
So that would be cool then to at least continue it in prose anthology type
Hmm.
way. But the comic's still coming out too, so you have
Hmm.
the comic.
Yeah, but actually, but you know what's kind of, but I'm just thinking about this, and again, I think what's really good is that, because there may be some people that go, "Ah, yeah, I really don't want to read. I don't read comics, but I love horror stories, and and oh, there's a new horror anthology. Oh, look, I know, I see Steve Niles' name. I know he's written, he did that, he was he did that comic that was turned into a movie, and now he's writing short stories in a prose novel. I can see what his writing style is, or I'm going, and I know I keep saying this, and I'm sorry, but but it also exposed new readers to like Nancy A. Collins, because she did the Sonia Blue series back in
Yeah.
the 90s, and then hopefully you know, that vampire private investigator, hopefully that interests people to look up those series as well too. Or um Jonathan Maberry, because he's still coming out with books. I think if I remember correctly, I think he still has his Joe Ledger series, but he's also writing
Yes.
other books, and also there's science fiction horror books that he's also writing too as well. You know.
Yeah, I would say at least, well, maybe more than half of the writers in this book are comic book writers as well. So a lot of
Yeah.
comic book writers write prose and vice versa. Uh, yeah, I find a lot of people that don't realize that like Steve Niles does write a lot of prose stuff as well. I don't think David Avallone has ever come out with a novel,
No,
but
I
he's
don't.
done a lot of short stories.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Maberry is probably more known for prose, but he's done a lot of comic books as well.
Yes.
A few years back, he was writing The Punisher, I think, and he was doing
Black Panther?
Black Panther, Captain America. He
Mm-hmm.
was doing. We published the first Joe Ledger graphic novel, which
Yes.
just came out earlier this year. That's available on Amazon
Oh, okay. All right.
and through my website as well. Yeah, the
Oh,
first
good.
Joe Ledger graphic novel, V Wars. He's
That's right.
which I think Joe Ledger's part of that. So yeah, so he's done a lot of Thomas Sniegoski is probably more known also. Well, maybe because I think he's also done Hellboy prose
Mm-hmm.
stuff too. Uh, Tim Wagner actually, I think his first comic was with us for the Kolchak 50th anniversary. So
Ah.
we've also given people opportunities also to get into comics.
Mm-hmm.
So I think almost everybody has either done comics in the past or just who's done some comics
Mm-hmm.
pretty recently. Yeah, Nick Roberts too. His first comic is in our Darkest Depths graphic novel that's coming out later this year. So.
Mm-hmm. Um, I know you already mentioned that, that it's great that you guys were able to that Monstrous Books was able to publish, this this very first Creepshow prose anthology novel, because it's never done before, because we've only seen it either through movies or, through even the comics. We're talking about the early, like we mentioned, the early Bernie
Yes.
Wrightson one. I'm that's so cool that you still have it. I remember flipping through it and I was going, oh man, I didn't have money back then. I was in high school. But also too now, through Skybound Imaging, they're publishing monthly comics. My question is, I want to ask, besides, that it's amazing that you got the rights to do this, what was the one thing or a couple of things that you love working on this particular project?
Well, doing stuff with the creep was really cool.
Hmm.
I ended up getting a bunch of creep figures too. But that was really cool, and I just like doing the artwork, of course, and like I said before, having the creep in the story. That's always
Hmm.
really cool. So I'd like to involve the creep more. So that's
Hmm.
always fun. I love the creep and like the crypt keeper and those horror hosts
Yes.
are really fun, and I like that kind of the black humor.
Oh, yes.
And all that. So like yeah, so like anything with the creep
Hmm.
is a lot of fun, and I really liked having that being part of it, like the having like that was definitely I had to have that in the book. We
Hmm.
definitely have to have the creep introducing the stories because we could have done just a straightforward prose anthology,
Hmm.
but I'm always throwing artwork in there, and this certainly lent itself to having something like that, like an introduction. You need the introduction. I think that's
Yes.
the big part of it. Is and I think people who are fans of stuff like Creepshow or Tales from the Crypt, I think that's one of the things that you love about it is having that introduction from the host. And I don't, but the movies though, the original movies though, didn't really have that. I think
Yeah.
it was just there might have been animated scenes in
Yes.
between, but they didn't have anybody um, actually introducing the story. And in the TV show, the creep doesn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has spoken in some of the movies.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Because because well, preparing for this, for some, it piqued my interest because Tubi has Creepshow 2 and Creepshow 3, but yeah, in Creepshow 2 he does do the little bit of the introductions. So yeah.
yeah, and then he has that laugh, and I think I don't know. I think was it two when he I think it's the creep is delivering the newspapers or
The
something.
comic book,
Yeah,
yes.
the comic books or something. Yeah, and I think he talks
Yes.
there. Yeah, but I don't think I don't think he speaks in the first one other than maybe the laugh.
Yeah, that's all it was. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But the other thing is that in the original movie, the
Mhm.
kid who's in bed reading the comic is actually Joe Hill, is Stephen King's son. Joe Hill, of course, who became a pretty big writer in his own right. So if you go back, it's Joe Hill.
Oh.
He's the kid, and Joe Hill even wrote. I think he wrote some episodes of the TV show, and I
Mhm.
think he wrote some of the new Creepshow comics as well.
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't
So
know that. But because
yeah,
I'm sorry, we got a few more minutes, but I just want to talk about because I still now listeners, um, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't think the original Creepshow movie is streaming anywhere right now. I think if you wanna is you gotta rent it. I know, like I said,
oh
Creepshow 2 and Creepshow 3 is like free on Tubi. But I still remember the kid. Yeah, he was reading the Creepshow comic book. Actor Tom Atkins, who's been well known in
mm-hmm.
classic horror movies like John Carpenter's The Fog. He plays the father, and he grabs a cup. What are you reading all this
Right.
crap in? And then didn't the kid like poison the milk or something when the dad? I forget.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Oh, but the thing I love about the original Creepshow movie was it's just a little bit of there's the horror, but there's also the campiness of it too.
Yeah. There's always that like black humor
Yeah,
that's a part of it too,
yeah.
which it was yeah. So that's also something that draws me to that because I'm always I like to mix horror with humor. Sometimes my horror is more humorous than horror,
But,
but here we go more horror. But yeah, that's a big part of it. Is like that is the black humor.
oh
And
yes.
yeah,
Or I still remember the one from the original movie, The Crate. Adrian
Barbeau.
Barbaro, Hal Holbrook. Make sure you tell them to call you Billy.
Yeah, yeah, the one with the roaches, which is really
Oh,
disgusting.
E.G. Marsh. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
and yeah, that's one of those ones that's like, oh, it's hard to watch because it's one of those things that really, you can handle monsters and stuff, but
Yes.
then that's something that feels like it could it can happen, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I live in Staten Island now. We don't deal much with roaches,
Mhm.
which is strange because when I came from Brooklyn, you had roaches and you had water bugs and stuff.
Oh,
But in Staten Island, we have spiders, and so I guess they take care of all the other bugs. So I haven't seen a roach in a long time. But yeah, I remember that really grossed me out because then you had the roaches that come out of the drain and
oh yes.
they're covering the dude, and yeah. So you had like that. That's like the gross out type
Because
of story, and that's sometimes hard to watch.
because that one I remember because when it was on HBO when it came out, I remember a couple of my friends going, "Yeah, that Roach one was the hardest one to watch." That I didn't like that one because it's the one that's possible. It can possibly happen. I mean, I doubt it, but
Yeah, I mean, we all had that happen. You've always had, you certainly probably have had like a bug crawling on you, and
yeah, and I think that's what
you freaked out.
it's not like someone's gonna come back from the dead wishing their dad a happy birthday.
Right. You don't think so, yeah, but you'll probably have a roach problem at some point in your life. You know.
All right, James. Sorry, I'm gonna wrap this up. Two more questions. Um, what's your I know I've asked you this already, but like for your convention schedule, anything during the summer or the rest of 2026?
No, I don't have any
No.
conventions.
It's
I actually started selling baseball cards and stuff at shows,
hmm
which actually much more lucrative than selling comic books.
Yeah.
Because cards have kind of blown up. So I'm actually be selling
Yes.
at a card show next month at the New York Yankees Double A minor league team, the Somerset Patriots. So they're having a card show at their stadium.
Wow.
I think it's June 7th. So that'd be really cool. Uh, yeah. So I guess I guess it's on like the upper deck.
hmm
Um, we'll be selling cards and stuff there. Maybe I'll bring some comic books too.
But
But like I said, it does sell much better. Because I've been to some conventions, book conventions, and comic conventions where we sold almost nothing.
yeah.
But a card shop, shows, it's crazy,
hmm
and there are little kids walking around with thousands of dollars in cash, and will make
Wow.
deals with you. Yeah, and it's Pokemon too. It's
Yes.
Pokemon
Yeah.
and it's sports stuff,
Yes.
but you will have little kids like 10, 11, 12 walking around with cases of
Yes.
cards, and the cards are worth thousands. And
Yeah.
then one kid came to my table. I think he was trying to sell me
hmm
cards, and he opened up his case and he had wads of cash in there. It's wild.
No, but I'm gonna say sorry. I just want to mention this because 2 weeks ago, well, actually every year, um, one of the local hotels, Alamana Hotel, during Free Comic Book Day weekend, every Sunday they'll have the Hawaii Comic and Toy Expo. They kept promoting it until I think like 2 weeks before, before the expo. They put, oh, we're teaming up with some type of cards, dealers or guys who organize the cards and stuff. So I was like, all right, whatever. I get there at I get to the hotel. It's on the second floor because there's like a couple middle-sized convention rooms, and there's a line outside the door. And I'm going, I've
Hmm.
never seen this. And I see like people carrying those small cases. I'm going, it's the card dealers. It's
Yeah,
like you said, it's probably mostly the Pokemon cards, probably some sports card. But yeah, it was like,
yeah. They will do crazy deals. And if you watch it, there's a lot of videos now on like YouTube and like Facebook. You see the vendors making deals and $10,000 deals, and they'll just throw cash on the table. It's really wild. Uh, so I'm always some of these they have like it's called the National, and that's the big card show.
mhm.
I think it's in Chicago every year. There's got to be millions and millions of dollars in cash in that room, at any given time. So I mean, they must have a lot of security. I'm
Yeah,
always worried because I have not really expensive cards, but I have
no,
cards that are worth a few $100.
yeah, it's just
Anything that's involved with Shohei Otani,
hmm
his cards just have been like doubled, tripled, quadrupled in the last year. So yeah, so you could be just holding a piece, just a piece of cardboard, and it's worth like $5,000, $10,000. So it's wild. So I would love to see that same thing with comics,
I
but
know,
it's a
yeah,
lot harder. Comics aren't worth money instantly like the way a
hmm
card is. So you
yes,
can open up a brand new pack of cards,
hmm
and that card could be worth $10,000.
hmm
That's not going to happen with a comic book. No,
yeah,
no modern comic book is just instantly worth
yeah,
a ton of money. I mean, maybe if it's signed by like Todd McFarlane or something, but even
hmm
then, it's only maybe a few $100. But cards, which was crazy because when I was a kid, they were only worth money if they were old. But
yes,
now
yeah,
cards are worth money like right out of
yeah,
the pack.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know. Let me just put a plug out for you because listeners, James also does on Whatnot, right? A video on Whatnot. Is it Sundays? You know,
I haven't been doing that in a while, but yeah, I sometimes sell cards, and we do like live streams on
yes.
Whatnot. Uh, yeah, and we do sometimes we'll do some stuff on YouTube. I haven't done anything in a while, but yeah, we'll probably be ramping that up.
Mm-hmm.
Been so busy trying to get these books out because there've been so many projects that we did the Kickstarters last year. So now they're all coming to fruition, and they're all coming out. So every month it was like we just finished fulfillment for Kolchak, and then right after that we had to do the fulfillment for Omega.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're doing fulfillment for Darkest Depths, and then after that is Monstrous 3, and then we had the Weird Tales campaign just a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm working on another big license, so I'm waiting for the contract for that, and that's going to be a whole other thing. So it's just getting busier and busier. Yeah.
Okay, so last question. Any closing words to our listeners? Because I know I don't want to take you. I know we're really past the time, but I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Just go follow us on social media because we do have a lot of stuff coming out now, and a lot of stuff planned. I think we're eventually going to do like a Patreon and do some web comics that so something that we would have content coming out like every week. So that'd be a lot of fun, and we should be doing another campaign in a few months. We're definitely doing the Omega 3 campaign soon, and then there'll probably be another big campaign at the end of this year. So yeah, follow us, Monstrous Verse is our handle. I think on most social media, I think on X it's Monstrous_verse. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming out. So just follow us on social media, and then you can be in the know.
Yes.
Because we do have a lot of stuff coming out. Oh, and the other thing we do, and which I haven't really announced, but it's kind of already available. But we're doing we're reprinting the Kolchak 50th anniversary.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you mentioned
novel. Yeah, because we sold out of the original, but then I have the license because that was originally with another publisher. So now we got a new cover, which is really cool. Actually, if you go on Amazon right now, it's there, but I haven't really promoted it yet. It'll be come out in I think August. So the 50th anniversary graphic novel hadn't been it's been out of print for a while, and and then we sold out. I sold out of everything I have. All of the paperbacks are gone. All of the hardcovers are gone.
Yes.
So this new version's got a new cover, and we got a new essay from Mark Dawidziak, who's the Kolchak expert. We have a new design in there, and we have a new story in there, which is this wraparound story that kind of introduces the anthology and then ends the anthology, which was something we had planned to be in the book originally, but the pages didn't come in on time, so we had to kind of change things up. So this is the version really that we originally intended to do. So and Mark Dawidziak's essay too was supposed to be in the original too, but we didn't get that in time. So it'll have 3 essays. It'll have the intro from James Rice, the son of Jeff Rice, who created Kolchak, R.C. Matheson, the son of Richard Matheson, who wrote the first 2 teleplays of Kolchak, and then Mark Dawidziak's essay. So we got new material and new really, really cool cover. It's an homage. But yeah, I'll be dropping more info on the 50th anniversary. I'm calling it the editor's edition. And that should be out soon.
Okay. All right. James, mahalo. Thank you in Hawaiian. Thank you for giving me another opportunity to interview you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason.
No, I'm going to say thank you. Thank you for being a friend of the podcast. We've been doing this for the last 4 years, and we're going to continue to do more until you hit that 2 million.
The 2 million, and we can come out to Hawaii.
Right. I wish you all the success, for Creepshow, the 13 Tales of Terror. I'm going to go through your website. I'm going to definitely pre-order it because
Awesome.
Because it's going to be hard to bring it in the house from the bookstore. And my wife's going, "What is that? Why does that?"
Well, I do have copies now, so I can send anything out early. So.
No, okay. And also I want to say thank you very much for setting up Monstrous books, because like I mentioned, it exposes new readers to writers such as Tim Waggoner, Yeah, and I always keep mentioning Nancy A. Collins, you know, and hopefully these readers will check out their past works, and that'd be great, you know. Um, listeners, if you love the original Creepshow movie, like me, like me and James, or if you love the TV show that was on Shudder, for that was on for like 3 or 4 seasons, or if you love the Image comics, please check out Creepshow 13 Tales of Terror. Now, again, this is an anthology prose novel filled with new tales of terror, to terrify all of us. And it will be out in stores on June 23rd. The other thing is, James, I'm going to say I cannot wait to get my copy because I want to read the tiny haunted house story. Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to be so cool. All right. I want to thank Drew, the host of Comics for Fun and Profit, for putting this episode together. Drew, thank you very much for all your hard work behind the scenes. If you are a new listener, please check out new episodes of Comics for Fun and Profit. It comes out every Saturday. And I want to thank you, the listeners. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening to this episode. Until next time, guys. Aloha.
June 23rd. Soil breaks. "13 holes in the earth. Ink leaks from open veins. He waits behind the glass. Ghoulish mask of yellow bone. Rotting legacy starts now. Meet for the page. 13 tales of terror. The grand cosmic hammer strikes. The grand justice in the dirt. The grand 13 tales of terror. Twisted limbs crack loud. Morality stripped of fat. Blood force carves the truth. Liquefaction of the gut. Celebrate the dying breath. Blood on the cover. 13 tales of terror. The grand cosmic hammer strikes. The grand justice in the dirt. The grand 13 tales of terror. Breast and skin bound in rot. No mercy found. The creep laughs. 13 screams. One mouth.